Honestly, you are mentally challenged. You are mentally disturbed when you and your husband are doing a full-time job in this country. I have seen couples like that. It is a whole lot of stress on them. Alright, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chinyere Ojike, a mom vlogger here in the UK. I make videos about lifestyle and also answer general questions about the UK. Alright, so I got this question. I was asked that how possible it is for a couple to move to UK with tier 2 skilled workers visa, getting a job with skilled workers visas, whereby the couple is, the man will be working a full-time, possibly 40 hours of shift in a week, and the wife would also be covering 40 hours of shift in a week. So, is it possible? Honestly, it is 100% possible. Not only that it is possible, I've also seen a couple or couples who are in this category here in the UK. And yes, it's working for them. And I've also seen a couple who have went south, because of the implications of both of them working here as skilled workers at the same time, because they also got children. Unfortunately, the wife ended their marriage. This stands to reason that money is not everything in marriage, or marrying someone who is educated, professionals, both of you becoming being professionals, maybe doctors, lawyers. At the same time, it doesn't make marriage to work successful. So sometimes you have to leave out certain things when it comes to marriage working out. Yes, I'm not telling you stories that I heard. It's something that I've witnessed. Sometimes when I cite references here, I have witnessed all this and I know the people it has happened to. So basically, if you want to move to UK, with a skilled workers visa, you are married, your wife wants to move in, also possibly, for instance, you are a doctor, your wife is a doctor, you got a job as a doctor here, your wife got a job as a doctor, and you've got children. Fantastic, you can move in, it is fine. But some of the advantages are that you are earning higher amount of money at the end of the month. You should be able to buy a car for yourself within 2-3 months of arriving in the U. Even you can even buy it on the first month, but nobody does that because it's a bit tricky here. You have to relax. Even if you are driving in your home country in Africa, you still have to do a refreshing course if you choose to, or you still have to watch very well. You may not understand what I'm talking about, but they do right-hand driving here. So it is, let's not just digress. It is an easy thing to do. The advantages is that you earn a lot of money at the end of the month because both of you are doing 40 hours a week, and you should be able to buy a house within a short space of time. Take, for instance, within 6 or 1 year interval of arriving in the UK, you and your spouse should be able to get a house on your own, and start paying the, you should be able to raise money for the deposits anyway, because mostly you buy houses or mortgage in this country, so it's a great advantage, for both of you moving in here as skilled workers, But one thing I want to point out here is that the disadvantages outweighs the advantages. One, if you don't have children, you are good to go. Both of you can manage yourselves. You can even be sleeping at work. Nobody cares because you don't have anything to worry about. But when you have children who are still under 10, under 16, it's a big issue. Because you are employed to do a full-time work, 40 hours a week, and your husband is also employed to cover 40 hours a week. Sadly, they do the timetable generally. You don't tell them what shifts to give you because you are a full-time staff at your workplace. Unfortunately, you might be doing the same day shift with your husband. Your husband might be starting work 8 a.m. and you are starting 8 a.m. If you have two, even if you have one child, who cares for that child? Who does the school run? These are the things you should consider because both of you starting work at 8 o'clock, finishing at 8 p.m. at night. I don't know who will be going to drop the child at school, who will be picking up the child, And this is a country whereby you have the money, but bringing in a maid from your home country, Ghana, Nigeria, it's something that is a bit difficult. Even if you succeed to bring in a maid or a help here, hence the person you bring in from Africa is still within the school age. The person is expected to be in school, just like your child or just like your children should be. And if your child is under 5, remember he or she has not even started a full-time, education in this country, which starts from the age of 5 years. If the child goes to school, maybe from 9 o'clock until 12 o'clock. Yes, that's the early year class. Hence, the child is less than 5. So it is a bit tricky and difficult. You cannot keep somebody in your house. You claim that the person is your maid. You are not paying the person, especially maybe a young girl who is less than 18. Even if the person is over 18, it should be in the university. Yeah, you can't just bring in the person and start keeping the person at yours without paying the person. And if you are bringing in such a person to work as a domestic staff, the person should have off days. So it's something that is quite difficult here in a way. So another thing that might be quite demanding for you is that honestly you are mentally challenged. You are mentally disturbed when you and your husband are doing a full-time job in this country. I have seen couples like that. It is a whole lot of stress on them, because I helped out at a certain time that I should help out. But, I also do my thing. I also go to work. I also have my family to cater for. I also have my child to do school run for, So you cannot accept to do something that you cannot finish, So it is quite challenging. Yes. Sometimes it would be good for you, you can succeed. But basically, you can succeed in working full-time, you and your spouse in this country. When you are coming in to do this job, you bring in your own parents, either your mom, your dad, if they are still strong enough to look after your children, to do school run for you. In that way, you will have peace of mind, relaxing at work, doing your work without any concerns. Because I tell you what, even if you intend to be leaving your children at home while going to work, your neighbors are watching. But for how long are you going to be keeping your children indoors while going to work? You need them to be in school. Of course, they should be in school because you're not even paying for their education. It's free education, and you do not have any reason, any right to keep your children at home. Hence, they've come of school age. Your neighbors who honestly do not talk to you, when you see maybe your next door neighbor, you might greet him good morning, he wouldn't reply, he wouldn't respond to you. But I tell you what, the person is always constantly observant, watching you. Especially all these old people around, they watch through their windows. They know how many kids you have, even when they don't interact with you. They know when you go out, when you come back. And by the time they watch 2-3 times, you are leaving your house without your kids, coming back lately. They observe these things, they're gonna call the police on you or report you to social service, and your children might be taken away from you. So absolutely a lot of disadvantages of both couples getting a professional job. I have a friend in Liverpool. She quit her professional job, the moment the husband got a professional job after doing his PhD, doctorate degree. The man got a job. The wife had to give up her professional job because it was affected. They have 3 children. She decided to take up a care work that is just somewhere close by where she'll be working night and still have time to do school run for her children, manage the children during the day, So it's a whole lot of work. It is mentally draining. I tell you, this very couple that is next to me, both of them are doctors. It has not been easy for them. God so kind, the mother-in-law just arrived again. Because during summer holiday, it was a whole lot. The children were home. They were not going to school. It was quite challenging for them managing these children, So it is something very possible, but make sure that you are coming in with your mom, your dad, who is still strong to do the school run, to help out in the house, unless you are willing to be paying child care. Even if you are paying child care or childminders, it is still going to be difficult, because here, if you are working somewhere that is very far from your house, or if your childminder is staying far from your house, the childminder should be coming in around 8 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock, that is when you'll be starting. Or do you want the childminder to come in at 6 a.m. in the morning? Remember, you pay for every hour. I don't know how, it's a whole lot, to be honest. It's a whole lot here, so I think even if both of you are professionals in your country, one of you can take up the sponsorship job. This is my honest advice. One of you can take up the sponsorship job, come in first, while the other person come in as a dependent. You watch how things unfold. If you are able to bring in one of your parents to come in, then you can start up with yours. And depending on how long one of your parents or the grandparents is willing to spend with you, because coming in for the first time, remember, it's 6 months visa, and after which the person has to go back and apply for the 2 years visa. These are the things you have to plan for before coming in. I would honestly suggest that one of you should come in first and watch things before taking the decision of you, starting your full-time job alongside your husband or alongside your wife. In that way, you are taking precaution not to lose your children to sexual service, because that is the worst that could happen to any couple in this part of the world. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it and find it interesting. Yeah, have a good day. Bye for now.